Nobody, and I mean asterisk nobody asterisk, saw this coming from the New York Yankees. Just when fans were starting to settle into the idea that this team was finally stabilizing, finally building a core around Aaron Judge, boom, an internal shakeup nearly flipped everything upside down. What we now know is that the Yankees were close to going full sell mode before the trade deadline, all hanging on one critical piece, Aaron Judge's health. That's how serious things got behind the scenes. Let's rewind as rumors started swirling. Few people believed them at first. Cody Bellinger, Paul Goldschmidt, Devin Williams. These were names that fans had just begun to embrace, players that, despite their own ups and downs, were starting to find a rhythm in pinstripes. Bellinger, especially, was lighting it up, playing his best baseball since his MVP season with the Dodgers, and yet, the Yankees, quietly and cautiously, were putting out feelers, floating names, testing the waters. Why? Because at one point, they genuinely feared that Aaron Judge would need Tommy John surgery, an injury that could have ended not just his season, but potentially sideline him deep into next year. As well. Now think about that, losing your captain, your franchise face, right when you're trying to push into October. That kind of uncertainty doesn't just sting, it forces an entire organization to pivot. And in that panic, New York started contemplating something bold, not a full tear down, but a fast, surgical reset. The kind of move where you unload value now, stockpile prospects, clear payroll, and come back next season even stronger. We're talking about a short-term regression to fuel long-term dominance. A strategy Brian Cashman knows well. He did something similar back in 2016 when the Yankees shipped off Aroldis Chapman to the Cubs. Watched him close the World Series and then brought him right back. It worked then, and in theory, it could have worked now, but this time, it wasn't just about a reliever. This time, the conversation centered around players who are still actively helping the team this season. It was about moving guys like Bellinger and Goldschmidt at their peak value. In case everything crumbled around Judge, let's talk about Cody Bellinger for a second. He has been everything the Yankees hoped he'd be and more. After some down years, Bellinger has rebounded in a big way. His numbers are legit, over 100 hits in fewer than 400 at-bats. A batting average hovering around .280, 19 home runs, 9 stolen bases, and versatility in the outfield that makes him a manager's dream. Left field, center field, right field, you name it, he plays it and plays it well. He's not just a body out there. He's elite defensively, and his offensive output has been steady and impactful. An OPS of .840, an OPS plus well above league average. And let's not forget the 3.1 WAR this season. This is a guy who many thought might not ever return to MVP form, and here he is, playing like a star again. The fact that he wasn't named an all-star this year, honestly, that's a snub, no question about it. Now, imagine the reaction from Yankees fans when the possibility of trading him hit the rumor mill. It was pure disbelief, but the reasoning, cold and calculated as it was, made a certain kind of business sense. If Judge was out for the year, what was the point of trying to patch together a postseason run? Why not take advantage of Bellinger's value while it's sky high? Why not flip him for a haul and revisit free agency after the dust settles? And then there's Paul Goldschmidt, another veteran, another consistent bat, another potential piece the Yankees floated in trade talks. While not putting up monster numbers this season, Goldschmidt has still been a solid contributor. A batting average over .280, 8 home runs, a respectable ops in the mid.70 OS. Not superstar stuff, but absolutely reliable, especially from a first baseman who fields his position well and brings leadership into the clubhouse. He started the year hot, cooled off a bit, but remains productive. He's been a stabilizing presence, particularly with Anthony Rizzo's decline and the development of young guys like Ben Rice, who may eventually take over that first base spot full-time. So with both Bellinger and Goldschmidt on the table, the Yankees were seriously considering a future without two of their more dependable pieces. The other name floated in these conversations, Devin Williams. Now that was a bit of a surprise considering how much of a roller coaster his season has been. Early on, things looked rough, a bloated era, a lack of command, and a noticeable dip in dominance. But recently, Williams has turned the corner. His strikeout numbers are climbing again. 53 punch-outs in 39 innings, and his walk rate is improving. The ERA still sits higher than usual, but that's skewed by a rough start. In his last 20 appearances, he's pitched like the all-star reliever everyone knows he can be. A sub-3 era, 11 saves, and a whip just a hair above 1. This is the version of Devin Williams you want anchoring your bullpen in October. Or, if you're trying to sell, the version that brings back premium value from a desperate contender. And here's where things really get interesting. These trade talks weren't just random chatter, they were strategic. They happened during a very specific window, right when Judge's medical status was still unclear. The Yankees didn't pull the trigger on any deals because, ultimately, Judge *DIDN single quotes D * need surgery, but the fact that these discussions even occurred, that tells us everything about how this front office views the current roster. They believe this team can compete, but only if the core pieces, Judge, Bellinger, the bullpen, are healthy and effective. The moment that equation changes, they're prepared to pivot, fast. The American League isn't exactly a powerhouse this year either, and that's part of the calculus. The Yankees know the door to the World Series isn't slammed shut, it's still cracked open. And with a little push, they could walk right through it. But they're also aware that their bullpen is ranked just outside the top 10 in Major League Baseball. That's not good enough, not for October, not in a league where teams like the Mariners, Guardians, Astros, and Blue Jays are stacking elite pitching staffs left and right. The Yankees have to tighten that up if they're going to make any real noise. So what now, with the deadline just hours away? Cashman sitting at the crossroads, go all in and chase the ring this year, or make a few careful tweaks and wait for a deeper splash in the offseason? One thing's for sure, they're not in sell mode anymore. Judge is back, the panic has cooled, and the front office seems ready to make at least some moves to shore up the roster. Now the conversation shifts to risk. How aggressive should they be? Should they hold on tight to prospects like Spencer Jones and George Lombard Jr.? Or should they make those rare exceptions and send one off in a blockbuster if the right opportunity comes? The fan base is split. Some want the Yankees to push all their chips in while the ale is soft. Others say don't mortgage the future, not for a short-term run, but this isn't 2017 anymore. Time is ticking, Judge is in his prime, and the team owes it to him and the fans to make a real push. Still, it's wild to think how close the Yankees were to punting on this season. A single medical update on Judge flipped the entire trajectory of the franchise's next 12 months. Had that gone differently, we might be talking today about a full-on fire sale, waving goodbye to Bellinger, Goldschmidt, and Williams. Instead, we're back in the hunt, eyes locked on the postseason, hoping the stars align in the Bronx once again. And if you ask me, this team, even with all its flaws, still has the bones of a contender. The core is there, the hunger is there. They just need to make the right moves now to close the gap and push this thing over the top. What's truly fascinating about this entire scenario is not just how close the Yankees came to pressing the reset button, but what it reveals about the mindset in the front office. Brian Cashman has always been one of the more calculated executives in baseball, known for thinking 10 steps ahead, and this near-sell situation is a perfect example of that. He wasn't overreacting, he was preparing. While fans were focused on each pitch and each win or loss, he was gaming out alternate realities, one where Aaron Judge disappears from the lineup for 12 months, and the team must pivot hard and fast. That kind of readiness, while unsettling, shows just how thin the line is between contending and rebuilding. One ligament, one skin result, and the Yankees' 2020 season would have looked completely different. But now, with Judge avoiding surgery and back in the mix, the Yankees are recalibrating. And this moment becomes less about survival and more about aggression. The urgency is there, just pointed in a different direction. They have to act, not to sell, but to reinforce. And they need to do it smartly. They're not in a position to throw away top prospects unless it brings back something transformative. The fan base knows that. The media knows that. And you better believe the other general managers around the league know that too. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. A wave of murmurs has swept across the Bronx as reports emerge suggesting that Yankees infield star Anthony VOLPE and rising catcher Ben Rice were involved in a heated altercation that led to both players being temporarily removed from the active roster. While the Yankees organization has yet to confirm the incident officially, sources close to the team hint at a behind-the-scenes drama that could have deeper implications for the clubhouse chemistry and the future of two young faces in pinstripes. Insiders say tensions between VOLPE and Rice have been simmering for weeks, with minor disagreements during batting practice and in post-game routines. But things reportedly came to a head after a recent loss, where frustrations boiled over in the clubhouse. The altercation, described by one unnamed source as serious enough to warrant disciplinary action, allegedly involved raised voices and even physical contact before team personnel intervened. Neither player has made a public statement, and the Yankees front office has remained tight-lipped, only stating that team matters are being handled internally. However, their conspicuous absence from the lineup over the past few games and a noticeable shift in the dugout dynamics has not gone unnoticed by fans and media alike. It's a startling turn of events for two of the franchise's most promising young talents. VOLPE, often hailed as the next great Yankee shortstop, had become a symbol of the team's youth movement. His combination of flashy defense, speed, and maturing bat had earned him a spot near the top of the lineup and in the hearts of fans. Rice, on the other hand, has been a revelation since his call-up, showing poise behind the plate and unexpected pop at the plate, quickly earning the trust of pitchers and coaches. The idea of these two clashing, especially in a clubhouse known for its professionalism, raises eyebrows. Some insiders speculate that the dispute may have stemmed from competitive tensions, perhaps revolving around playing time, leadership roles, or even deeper personality conflicts, with both players jockeying for long-term roles in a team brimming with young talent and under intense media scrutiny. The pressure cooker environment might have finally reached its boiling point. Veterans on the team are reportedly stepping in to defuse the situation. One veteran, speaking on condition of anonymity, emphasized the importance of team unity and said, "These things happen when everyone wants to win, but we need to make sure it doesn't become a distraction." Meanwhile, others around the league are watching closely, speculating whether this might lead to larger moves, either in the form of a trade or a shakeup in the team's leadership. The timing couldn't be worse. The Yankees are in the thick of a playoff race, and cohesion is critical. With the trade deadline looming, front office decisions are already under the microscope. Could this altercation influence trade talks? Might the Yankees consider parting with one of the two in a blockbuster move to stabilize the clubhouse? Or is this just a minor bump in the road that will soon be forgotten? Some fans are skeptical, brushing off the reports as exaggerated media gossip or clubhouse hearsay. Yet others point to subtle clues: body language on the field, who sits where in the dugout, post-game interviews that feel a bit too guarded, as signs that something beneath the surface is indeed brewing. In an organization where image is everything, and the pressure to win never lets up, even the faintest whiff of discord becomes magnified. The Yankees are known for managing internal issues with discretion, but if the rumored rift between VOLPE and Rice is real and unresolved, it could ripple through the team in unexpected ways. For now, we wait. Will the Yankees issue a formal statement? Will VOLPE and Rice address the speculation? Or will both return to the lineup as if nothing happened, the whispers fading as fast as they came? One thing's for sure, in the city that never sleeps, the Yankees clubhouse won't be quiet anytime soon. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.